Let's talk about France, guys. France in the news. France officially bans English gaming terms like esports and streaming. So streamer is now un joueur en direct, and esports is un jeu vidéo de compétition. So the French, the country, France, they don't like that English jargon is invading their language, and the language purists and the politicians there have banned terms like streamer, cloud gaming, esports, etc. So the language keepers of the French language, the Académie Française, they've expressed concern. They've now blocked these terms. We've talked about countries forward thinking in terms of gaming and tech. Do you guys think this is going to help, hurt? None of the above, just a silly story about words. Lindsay, what do you make of France?
You specifically chose this story so that you could remind everyone that French is your first language and do all your fancy French pronunciations. And I don't think this is an important story.
Francois.
But I'm happy for you, Paul, specifically.
Okay. We talk about esports, guys. We've talked on the show, on the main podcast, a million times, especially in the early days, about esports as a term. Some people hated it, some people liked it, some people thought it doesn't come around. At this point, do the words matter at all to the business of it? Like, we have the same conversation with metaverse, right? Which, by the way, go subscribe to the Meta Business podcast.
But
Jeff?
why would they do this?
Yeah, I don't know enough about the French, like the translation of each of these words to comment. I also now work for a French company, so I will say that I love France and the culture and all the people there. And I'm actually going to Paris in a few weeks, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, in terms of this, I don't know enough to necessarily comment. Besides the fact that they've spelled esports wrong in this article. I don't like when they capitalize the S.
This is true. It does make it ugly. Harder Barbecue says, I just say omelette du fromage. That's all I need to say. I mean, Harder Barbecue, that's the most important thing, ordering food. But they should have chosen a significantly smaller term, like a word, something like streamer, or I guess whatever.
This segment is just Paul showing off his French accent.
Here. Harder Barbecue says, I do have a French pun when it comes to gaming. Works every time. Harder Barbecue, then we have to ask, what is the French pun that works every time? Now I'm curious.